dan ya bisa diajak bercanda lebih ke family lah. Rekomendasi banget untuk para student yang kayak yang di sana yang pengen kuliah dari sekali untuk ambil untuk ikut dengan university karena university sangat membantu para student untuk menemukan kuliah kampus yang tepat untuk kalian semua.
Australia's Gold Coast is situated in subtropical Queensland, just an hour's drive from the state capital, Brisbane. It's a fast-growing city of 500,000 people, drawn by the miles of perfect coastline and a sun-drenched lifestyle. The central Gold Coast skyline looks like a gathering of giants wriggling their toes in the warm Pacific. There's a natural spirit here, found in the incredible beaches, the ocean's shifting moods, and the cool waterfalls and deep forests of the hinterland. But there's a human spirit too, dedicated to family, vitality, and having the time of your life. Surfers Paradise is a complete destination in itself, a glittering resort, shopping and entertainment strip. Head to the Sky Point observation deck to see the Gold Coast's beaches unfurl in a 20-mile ribbon of sand studded with headlands, parks and waterways.
The city of Melbourne is situated in the southern Australian state of Victoria. Opening out like a fan from the shores of Port Phillip Bay, Melbourne is home to over 4 million residents and regularly features in the top rankings of world's most livable cities. Founded on the banks of the Yarra River in 1835, the discovery of gold transformed this faraway settlement into one of the wealthiest cities in the world. Decades of prosperity created a metropolis filled with grand civic buildings, cathedrals, theatres and parks. Closer to earth, but just as heavenly, are the artworks and stained glass ceiling at the nearby National Gallery of Victoria. The city's great paintings are not confined to its galleries.
Perched on the east coast of Australia, few cities are as geographically spectacular as Sydney, the capital of the state of New South Wales and home to over 4.5 million people. Surrounded by the rolling Pacific Ocean, two dramatic headlands stand as a timeless gateway to one of the world's most beautiful harbours. Blessed with over 100 beaches, bathed in year-round sunshine and buzzing with a youthful vitality, when it comes to the good life, Sydney is hard to top.
On the northern shore of Lake Ontario, near the US border, lies Canada's largest city. Toronto is the capital of the province of Ontario and is a major economic and cultural centre for the country. Founded as York by the British in the late 1700s, Toronto is now a proudly Canadian city, and nearly 6 million people call the Greater Toronto Area home. The megacity attracts people from all over the world, and neighbourhoods such as Chinatown, Greektown, and Little Italy are just some examples of Toronto's diversity. Nearly everywhere you go, you can catch a glimpse of the city's iconic CN Tower, one of the 7 wonders of the modern world.
Malaysia is situated just north of the equator between Thailand and Singapore. Malaysia is a federation of 13 states, with 11 on the Malaysian peninsula and 2 on the island of Borneo. With a population of just over 27 million people, a low cost of living, and a year-round tropical climate, Malaysia remains a favorite destination for travelers the world over. Malaysia is a nation rich in diversities. One of the first places you'll notice this diversity is in the smiling faces of those waiting to greet you. Malaysia is truly a racial melting pot, where Malay, Indian, Chinese, and smaller ethnic groups live together in respectful harmony.
London is situated in the southeast of England in the Thames Valley. Home to over 8 million people, the capital of the UK has been an important financial, educational and cultural centre for hundreds of years. Of the many gifts England has given to the world, none has been greater than her language and literature. And if ever there's a city that reads like an epic saga, it's London. The story of London began in the Bronze Age, but it didn't really get going until the Romans withdrew in the 5th century. Growing into one of the great medieval trading cities, she truly came of age in the 11th century, when William the Conqueror built the Tower of London, which was to become one of England's grimmest prisons. This world city is filled with iconic symbols, and one of the most easily recognisable is Tower Bridge, an impressive reminder of London's rapid expansion during the industrial.
New York is situated in the northeast region of the United States of America. Over 8 million people call the Big Apple home, and the city attracts up to 50 million visitors a year. Ever since the colonists arrived in 1624, New York has been continuously shaped by the waves of immigrants drawn here by the promise of hope and liberty. Every newcomer arrived with a cultural suitcase that contributed to the sounds, tastes, and textures of New York. But it is their dreams which built the city, a city like no other. New York touches not only the heavens with its mythic skyline, its influence radiates to every corner of the globe. Every street corner, it seems, is familiar through documentary, movie, and song.
San Francisco is a spectacular, fun city on the central coast of California, about 350 miles from LA. It's bursting with a youthful energy that will guarantee you have an amazing and unforgettable adventure. Just a few minutes north, San Francisco's Chinatown is 8 blocks of bustling activity with storefronts and alleyways selling all manner of strange and exotic goods. Less than a mile to the east, the Embarcadero is a busy waterfront roadway that runs right around the port area with some of San Francisco's most famous landmarks, including Market Street, the Bay Bridge, and the San Francisco Ferry Building. A short stroll away is Pier 39, which has some of the best views of San Francisco Bay and a resident sea lion community that has been basking in the sun at the pier for more than 20 years. The island fortress of Alcatraz sits ominously in the bay and is now a popular attraction, with tours departing from Fisherman's Wharf several times a day.
Seattle is about 100 miles south of the Canadian border on the west coast of the United States. It is a lush, evergreen city lying between Puget Sound and Lake Washington, with abundant parklands and surrounded by towering mountains and forests. Widely known for its overcast weather, when the sun does come out, the spectacular beauty of the waterways, forests, and distant mountains combine to make Seattle one of the most stunning cities in the U.S. Classic architecture, leafy public squares, and wide, breezy streets make exploring downtown Seattle a fun experience. A distinctive feature of downtown is the Seattle waterfront, which is famous for eateries and seafood restaurants, as well as being a launching point for pleasure craft cruising the Sound. Ferries depart regularly, so jump aboard to get a unique view of the city. Container ships and cruise liners also share these waterways, and the busy harbor is a constant reminder.
Washington, D.C. is situated on the east coast of the USA, along the banks of the Potomac River. The city has an area of just under 70 square miles, but it sure packs a lot in. Washington was founded as the nation's capital in 1791. As soon as you land here, you get a sense of the power and history that this metropolis represents. The U.S. Capitol building on top of Capitol Hill is the nation's seat of federal government. Rest a while by the reflecting pool. Surrounded by America's most iconic tributes to its heroes and founding fathers, it's easy to let your mind wander back through the various chapters of America's history. Nestled in the trees is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Engraved in its walls are the names of tens of thousands of soldiers who lost their lives in the battlefields of Vietnam. The nearby Lincoln Memorial is where Martin Luther King Jr. made his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Admire the many sculptures and waterfalls at the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial further along the mall.